This conference will now be recorded.
Anyone has idea on what is a flexible benefit package, guys? Okay, so look at this. So this is a flexibility given to the employee. Given to employee to choose his own salary components and their amounts. Amount ranges according to his requirement. And this amount, flexible benefit package, is some portion of CTC, guys. Some portion of CTC. Example, observe this. So suppose if your employee annual CTC is 12 lakhs, okay, observe this. I'm giving 12 lakhs. So this is just a simple salary structure I have taken as an example here, and I defined the formulas here. Okay, so let's assume employee annual CTC is 12 lakhs. Employee annual CTC is 12 lakhs. So in that, the 50% of CTC is annual basic pay. These are annual components, guys. Okay, 50% means what? Annual basic pay is 6 lakhs. Okay, and then employee provident fund value is separated, which is a 12% of basic salary. 12% of basic pay. So this is 12% of basic pay, guys. Okay, and company say the remaining amount is a flexible benefit package amount. So if you look at this 6 lakhs less 72,000, 6 lakhs 72,000 minus 12 lakhs equal to, you get this, guys. So this is, companies say it is your flexible benefit package. Okay, within this package you allocate, employee can allocate the components, these components, according to his own requirement, guys. According to his own requirement. For example, one employee may not require LTA. Okay, one employee may not require LTA, so he will not allocate LTA. He will not allocate LTA. One employee, house rent allowance require more, or he may not require house rent allowance because he is staying in the own accommodation. Okay, so like this, so different employees have different needs here. Clear? So instead of company allocating the amounts within this 5,28,000, instead of company allocating the amounts, these amounts, the flexibility is given to the employee. Employee can allocate the amounts. Anyway, company will not pay more than this, right? Clear? The company will not pay more than this. So within 5,20,000, employee can allocate the amounts. Clear? Okay. So at the time of hiring, at the time of hiring, company might assign these allowances, okay, as a default allowances, default values according to the formula like this. But later on, okay, employee can go to the his ESS portal. He can change the amounts according to his own requirement. Okay, so one employee requires LTA 1 lakh 50,000. One employee requires LTA 1 lakh. Another employee requires LTA 50,000. Another employee may not require LTA. Okay, he wants monthly salary to be more. Clear? He wants monthly salary to be more. So it all depends on employee. So this concept is there in a few countries like India, South Africa, and some countries only. Okay, this flexible benefit package. Usually, so this flexible package access will be given in the ESS portal. Okay, to the employees ESS portal, employee will have access to this package, and the components also he can allocate or appeared in the flexible benefit package portal, guys. Okay, so let's say one employee allocating like this. So he is allocating LTA, sorry, HRA 2,40,000 and conveyance, medical, okay, and LTA he is allocating like this. Let's say he needs 100,000. Then what is the special allowance, guys? What is the special allowance?
So rest of the amount, when we minus all these components from flexible, so remaining will be stored in flexible.
Exactly. So here this is a package given to the employee, and he allocated 2,40,000 for HRA, conveyance this much, okay, medical this much, and LTA this much. Medical is not used in a companies nowadays, but I just gave it as an example here. Okay, so remaining amount goes to special allowance. So this is the total value, total package. From this, he allocated this much for HRA, 19,200 for conveyance allowance, okay, 15,000 for medical, okay, LTA he allocated this much. So this is a special allowance raise. So if you look at this total, he will get the package. Okay, so this is a one employee example. Another employee, he will not allocate LTA. He doesn't require LTA. He cannot claim LTA, or else he has already claimed LTA 2 times in the span of 4 years, right? So he does not allocate the amount. So automatically special allowance is increased, right? Automatically his special allowance is increased. Clear? Okay. Some employee, he will allocate house rent allowance only 1,80,000. He does not require more than this. Okay. He allocates 1,80,000 here. Then again, the remaining amount goes to special allowance. So the CTC won't be changed. The total CTC won't be changed. But this flexibility, according to the need of an employee, this flexibility is given to the employee in the portal, guys. Okay. So in the portal, he can choose these components. So how he will choose these components in the portal? Okay, we can also test that in the SAP system. Okay, even though we don't have a portal, we can test the same thing in SAP system, guys. Okay, so these are monthly components, so which are divided by, these values are divided by 12. So you will get a monthly components. So company, as I said, during a hiring, company can allocate default packages, okay, default values, but then later employee can change the package according to his own requirement. The access given to these employees for the package 2 times in a year or 3 times in a year, not more than that. Okay, the employee cannot access these packages anytime. So the company will send a mail. So one time in the April, another time maybe in the October month, they'll send a note to all employees. So the flexible benefit package is open for you in ISS portal. You go to that portal and allocate according to your requirement for the next 6 months period. So they'll send a note to all its employees. Now employees log in into the ISS portal and then go to this package and allocate the components and click on update. So when they click on update, these values are updated in the respective info tabs, guys. Okay, these values are updated in the respective info tabs. Now look at this. So in package, okay, these values are annualized values are appeared. But when you click on update, in the info tabs, pay period values are updated. So the values will be converted to pay period values, guys. The annual values will be converted to the pay period values and then updated them in the system directly. Okay, so let's look at the same example in the system now. But during a hiring, which values do you assign in info tab 8? Pay period values or annual values? Which values are assigned during a hiring, guys, in info tab 8?
Annual value, sir.
Info tab 8. So info tab 8, whatever you maintain in info tab 8 or info tab 8 meant to be pay period values. Clear? Okay, anything you maintain. So in one client, we have also implemented like this. First, we maintain annual CTC, and from that monthly CTC is derived, and from that again other components are derived. But if you want to update annual values in info tab 8, development is required here. In case of FBP, you need some development, you need some change in the functional modules in the backend. Okay, so I will show you by updating only monthly values. In the standard SAP system, info tab 8 meant to be a monthly value. So I maintain monthly CTC. Okay, then in FBP screen, system converts that to annual CTC. Okay, so I'll show you like this. So these are the formulas for the calculation of the amounts. So now the info tabs, this. See, monthly CTC, basic salary, and employee provident fund. Okay, so this, why we are updating in this here, we have a 587 info tab. We have a 587 info tab where the PF is calculated automatically. Then why we are updating this in the info tab 8? To arrive FBP. Okay, to arrive FBP package, we need the value of 3EF, right? So to arrive this, I'm updating this in the info tab 8 as an information figure. So once it is updated, then I can calculate the total FBP package, which is total CTC minus basic pay minus the provident fund value equal to CTC, the FBP package. Clear? So I will hire an employee. See, so these components are info tab 8 components, guys. Okay, but LTA and medical, I gave it in 589. What does this mean? I want this LTA and medical to be updated in 589. Why? Why do you update the components in 589? Anyone?
Reimbursement eligibility.
So these amounts are not paid immediately. Okay, so these two are reimbursements. LTA and medical, these two are reimbursements. These two components are paid. Okay, whenever employee claims, these two components are paid. So the claim limit is maintained in 589. So this is not a regular payment. Okay, we are not going to convert this to the regular payment. We maintain this as a annual value, annual limit in 589 days. So his annual LTA limit, he chooses 72,000. His medical annual limit is, he chooses 15,000. He chooses 15,000. So this is a limit. It is not paid in every pay period. It is paid in the month he claims it. Okay. So that's why I want this to be updated in, okay, updated as a reimbursement. So you can pay these amounts as a reimbursements. You can pay these amounts as allowances, regular allowances. It's up to the company. But in this example, I have taken these two as a reimbursements. I've taken these two as a reimbursements, annual reimbursements. So this annual value of LTA, annual value of medical that employee chooses is updated in 589 days. Okay. So later, whenever he travels it, he goes for a leave travel. Then he claims he submit the bill and claim it. So the company will pay it by using the reimbursement programs. Okay, claims disbursement, special allowance disbursement. So these reimbursement programs are used to claim these amounts. And I have taken one example, one allowance for 14, so that I want to show you, okay, how the system updates the value in 14. And HRIS special allowance, again, I want this in input app 8. So these wage tabs are already configured in the system, guys. These wage tabs are already configured in the system, and I implemented these formulas. Using these indirect valuations. Okay, I implemented. You can try this. This is one of the. This is a good scenario to learn indirect valuation also. Okay, so when a wage step is a percentage of another wage step, involve B. Again, a wage step is a percentage of another wage step, involve B. Okay, so this one, again, this is also percentage basis, 100% of CTC minus, okay, 100% of 3B01 minus 100% of 3F. You know, the percentage can be negative, right? When you maintain the negative, that becomes a subtraction in annual B. Clear? So you can practice two scenarios here. Okay, one is a FBP you can practice, another one is this indirect valuations. Okay, so I'll show you. Now LTA and medical, okay, these are fixed amount based on the pay scale structure, okay, or the, employee can choose these values according to his requirement. And HRA is a default 40%. Again, later employee can change this value. So company assigns these values initially during a hiring, okay. After that, employee can change them. Okay, so let's look at this calculation. First, make sure all these components are set up in the system. Okay, and then apply the indirect valuation. This is the input of 8 configuration. I'm not going to show you. Okay, clear. So look at the package configuration, FBP package configuration. So in this, observe this, guys, there are certain functional modules used. Okay, I'm mentioning the function module here. So this is information figure, has nothing to do with the FBP. Okay, and this is also information figure. This is also information figure. Just we need to show it in the FBP package. This is what total package. Right? And this is what part of package. Part of total package. And all these are part of total package, guys. And what is this? What is the special elements? This is reminder. This is reminder, guys. Yeah. So remember this. These are the specifications that we need to assign during a configuration. Okay. During a configuration. So the first one, information figure. These three are information figures in the package screen. and this one is the total package within which employee should allocate, and all these four are part of packages that employee allocates, and the remainder is automatically calculated by the system. So the remainder is automatically calculated by the system after allocation, guys. So understood this one? So this is considered as a category. Okay, category of the FBP package. Now there is a functional module we should use here, guys. If you are using a inval, here, it is compulsory to use a functional module here to retrieve that amount, to apply that inval valuation in FBP screen. So this function module should be used. Okay, and part of package, for the part of packages, there is a one more function module given by SAP. Okay, let me take that value. So this function module should be used for the part of packages. So if you remember this, for reminder, you don't need to maintain anything. It is automatically calculated. So if you remember this function module, this category, FBP configuration is done. Okay. And here, monthly cities are not maintaining any indirect valuation. So you can simply maintain this as the information figure. You can maintain that as an information figure. Yes. Okay. So all of you understood this part? Any column you want me to explain in this? Be it indirect valuation or FBP, anything you want me to explain in this, guys? So this is the requirement of the client. Okay. So using this indirect valuation, I have configured this. Okay. You want to see this configuration? Look at this. The first one. So it is a direct valuation, 3 CTCN. Okay. Go to so this is a normal info type 8 configuration, guys. Look at this. The first one. So it doesn't require any indirect valuation because it is a manual input by the client. So 3 CTC waste type. Okay. It doesn't have any indirect valuation. And this is copied from which waste type? There is a one waste type base / TPA given by India. Okay, you can use that. This is just a dummy figure. Okay, it is not part of a gross or a net salary. It is just a reporting waste type. I copied from this. I also copied. Okay, 3 CTC and 3 FBP both are copied from /TPA, guys. Both are copied from /TPA, which is there in input app 8 as a model waste type. Okay, so 3B01 is what? It is 50% of your monthly CTC. So 50% of 3 CTC. If you look at 3B01, the character I maintained here, inval B. So when I maintain inval B, mandatory table is what? T539J. Okay, look at this. PRZ&T 3B01 So it is 50% on 3CTC. Okay. The next one EPF. It is 12% on basic pay. Inval B. So verified. Okay, inval B. And verify the table. See, this is a 12% on basic pay. Next, FBP, flexible benefit package. It is the remaining of CTC, remaining amount in CTC. So I maintain inval B again. Okay, look at this, how I configure this. What does this mean? What does this mean, guys?
So it is 3B01 minus 3CTC, that formula.
Yeah. So total annual CTC, monthly CTC minus basic pay and provident fund equal to. So this is the formula I applied here, guys. Okay. So house rent allowance, inval B I maintain as a default percentage. So you will see that here. Okay. This is 40% on basic pay. So this fixed amount based on pay scale structure, when I say the fixed amount based on pay scale structure, which indirect valuation model would use? Inval A. Inval A. When you use inval A, what is the mandatory table?
539A.
T510 sir.
T510 table. So mandatory table is T510. Anything that is depending on a pay scale structure is a T510 table. So let's configure this FBP screen, guys. Go to setup country grouping first. Okay, in Indian payroll, there is a node here, flexible benefit package. Okay, flexible benefit package. Go to basic settings. Go to basic settings. So this is also called a compensation structure design. Okay, so go to first one, compensation areas. Compensation areas. So the compensation area is a 2-digit character, guys. It is a 2-digit character code. So this compensation area is usually created at a company code level or a currency level. The compensation area holds all the components which are part of this compensation planning. All the salary components which are part of the compensation planning are stored in a compensation area, guys. So we are going to create a compensation area usually at a company code level or a currency level. So here I will take the compensation area. You can take anything 4P. Okay, I'm taking the compensation area, and this is applicable to India. You can have a multiple compensation areas for India, within India, guys, within India. But compensation area is usually created at the company code level. Okay, so within this company code level, let's assume, see, this is a compensation area. This is a compensation area. We have totally 10 components are there. Totally 10 components are there. Now there are permanent employees, there are trainees, there are contract employees. Okay, so permanent employees, out of this 10 for permanent employees, only 9 components are applicable, 1 component is not applicable. Permanent employees. Okay, for a contractors, 6 components are applicable, not the other 4 are not applicable. For contractors, only 6 salary components are applicable. For example, this medical, this conveyance is not given to the contractors. Okay, the rest all components are given to the contractors. Okay, so 6 components are applicable. And for the trainees, there are 3-4 components are applicable from this salary packaging screen. Okay, for the trainees, 6 components are applicable. So this is the compensation area where we create all the components within the company. Okay, compensation area. These three are called restricting the salary components. Okay, according to the structures. So these 3 are called compensation groups, guys. Compensation groups. So all permanent employees in one compensation group, all contractors in a one compensation group. Okay, all trainees one compensation group. Okay, one compensation group. So we need to create compensation area first and maintain this at the company code level. And we need to create a compensation group, maintain that at a personal structure level, employee group level or location level, any criteria, it all depends on the client. Clear? Compensation groups. Now within this compensation group, these 9 components are there, right? Here in permanent employees, within this compensation group, if I want to restrict one particular payment, to the pay scale structures, okay, to the pay scale structure. See, I have a manager's permanent category. In permanent employees, I have managers 1, manager level 2, okay, manager level 2, executive level 1, executive level 2, like this, workers, engineers level 1, engineers level 2. Okay, for example, within this permanent category, 9 components, let's assume there is a DNS allowance, which is only given to workers, or engineers, workers and engineers only. Observe this. First, at a higher level, compensation area. Further classification is a compensation group. Within the compensation group, you can restrict the allowances. Within the compensation group, you can restrict the allowances using eligible groups. So this is a hierarchy of the design, guys. Eligible groups. So using these eligibility groups, okay, you can control the components based on the pay scale structure, job, okay, salary ranges, various criteria you can use, guys. Various criteria. Okay, not only the component, but also range of the component you can control. The range of the component you can control, guys. Okay, for example, for LTA, okay, the engineers can allocate up to 70,000, not more than that. Employee who is an engineer, he can allocate LTA up to 70,000, not more than that. Who is an executive, okay, he can allocate up to 90,000. So this range of the amount also can be controlled by eligible groups. Okay, so first compensation area and then compensation group. Within the compensation group, the components eligibility or the range of the components are controlled by eligible groups base. This is the hierarchy of entire configuration. So we are configuring the compensation area, and within that compensation area, I will first maintain all the components and their info tabs, okay, their function module, their category, everything I maintain in compensation area. And then I create a compensation group, 3 compensation groups, and within these compensation groups, we maintain eligible components, applicable components. And for each component, I can define eligible rules. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of the configuration. So we are at a, this is gone. Okay, I'm creating 4B. Maintenance text. So this compensation area, you need to default for your company code. Go to compensation area, CA area, okay, benefit area, B area, compensation area, C area, payroll area, AB HRIS. So you can default this compensation area using C area. Okay, so look at this. Here I will call the company code. Let me check my employees in which company code. Based on that, okay. So within this, I will call the company code. So return value is what? Compensation area, which is 4B. Otherwise standard. Next. Okay. Salary components for the compensation area. Salary components for the compensation areas. So define salary components. Define salary components. So within compensation area, it will ask you which compensation area you are configuring. 4P. Okay. So in this compensation area, I'm going to configure all the components. So that means this one, this part we are configuring now. Okay. So in a salary packaging screen, every component is identified with a 4-digit character code, guys. Okay, 4-digit character code. For example, ZCTC. Okay, any 4-digit. This is not a base type, guys. This is a 4-digit character code for the salary component in packaging screen, and this is not even updated in info tab. Only for the packaging screen, we identify every salary component with a 4-digit code and with a description. So I maintain that as an annual CTC. Why I'm maintaining this as annual CTC? Because when you go to the salary packaging screen, the amounts are projected to the annual, and the amounts you see in FBP screen are annual components. Okay, so this annual component is calculated based on the waste type in the info tab, which is 3 CTC. When I give a monthly CTC, the system shows the annual CTC, and it is an information figure. It is an information figure, as I mentioned here. Okay, information figure. So I want to display in the order first. Display this component in the order first. And amount. What is that employee? What is that employee is going to modify? Is it an amount field or a number field? Nothing, because this is automatically derived. This is automatically derived. Okay, amount of, and percentage of. Amount of, percentage of. Let me show you for one employee how this packaging is. Okay, this is now doesn't work because we changed the compensation area. 1 minute, guys. Let me show you. Okay, so there is an employee already hired. Let me show you the screen first. The transaction code in SAP system we use is P16B_admin, guys, for salary packaging. The same screen is appeared in ESS screen, employee self-service screen. Okay, P16B_admin. So he goes here. Effective date of salary packaging. Now you see this annual CTC, when you double click on it, here this is ineditable. Whereas household and allowance is editable, because amount on means amount is modified by the employee. Whereas for other above components, this field is not editable. That's what it is. All right, we can configure this later. So that's why I give amount of, percentage of, guys. And I'm not specifying any function module. First thing, it is not valued. It is not valued. This component is not valued based on indirect valuation module. No function module is necessary here. Okay, but if it is valued on an indirect valuation module, in val, function module is compulsory. Okay, so it is information figure. Save it. Next. Annual basic pay. Okay, this is from which input tab? Same triple right? Waste tab 3B01. 3B01. This is also information figure. Okay, amount of, percentage of. Employee cannot modify this. Display sequence 2. Okay, amount of, percentage of. Employee cannot modify this. And this one in input tab 8 is indirectly valued. And I gave you the function module that you can assign here. So that in FBP screen also this is indirectly valued by this function module, guys. Okay. Same, whatever is there in Excel file, I'm configuring the same thing here. Next, ZFBP. Sorry, EPF. Annual PF. Same, I'm going to maintain this in input tab 8, which is 3 EPF waste tab. There is a waste tab configured for this, just a reporting waste tab. Okay, so this is also information figure, and this is also valued based on indirect valuation module, display sequence is 3. I want the components to be displayed in the same order what we have here. Okay, so I'm configuring that accordingly. Okay, so the next one, HRA. We can maintain description, annual house rental ones. Same input app 8. Okay, 3 HRA, there is a waste, sorry, Z HRA, there is a waste step configured. Now what is this, guys? Is it a part of package? Sorry, 1 minute, guys. Fourth component is the CTC, right? Flexible benefit package, FBP. This one we forgot. Okay, I'm configuring that now. So the same description is appeared in the FBP screen. So the component is what? Z FBP. 3 FBP. Yeah. Waste type code is 3 FBP. So this is what total package. Observe this. Nature of the salary component is total package. So this is package. And this is indirectly validated. Indirectly validated. And display sequence for amount of 1% of this cannot be modified by the employee. Can employee modify this, guys? Can employee modify the total package? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
He cannot modify this. Next, HRA. So observe this. Whenever you are selecting the factor, the part of package, the nature of the component should be part of package. It is compulsory. Nature of the package is a part of package, guys. And the function module for this part of package is another one. HR underscore IN underscore SPA iteration. This is the function module you should use for the part of package, guys. Okay. So what is the display sequence here? This one, fifth one. And this is modified by the employee. Okay, HRA should be allocated by the employee. You can give amount on percentage of, you can give an amount on percentage on both. So it's up to you. Okay, mostly only amount will be on, not percentage. But percentage option also I'm giving here. Okay, so first one, HRA should be part of package. Okay, input app 8, salary component, and this is the function module we should use for the HRA. Save it. For all part of packages, you should use the same thing as conveyance. I'm giving it in 14. I want this to be updated in 14. And the waste type, I think HCM. And this is also part of package. Part of package. Factorization. Okay. And display sequence 6. and amount on. I give a amount on percentage. Next, medical, LTA or medical. I want this to be in 589. Okay, this amount annual value is going to be updated in 589 years. So 589, the wage type is same. ZLTA is the wage type I have configured, and this is part of package. When it is a part of package, this is the function module you should use, and display sequence 7. So amount on percentage of. Next. Part of package. Eight. Next, what is left?
Special allowance.
Special allowance. I want this to be updated in 8. ZSPL. And this one, do this reminder. The reminder you do not have to assign because I'm not using any indirect valuation module for this. So it is not even part of package. It is a reminder which is calculated by the system automatically, guys. Okay. So 9, and this is not modified by the employee. So amount of and the percentage of. Okay, not modified by the employee, amount of the percentage of. So we are done with the compensation area and components in the compensation area, guys. So these are the overall components in the compensation group, compensation area. Compensation area. Next, you need to create a compensation groups. Okay, second level compensation groups. This compensation group, it is a set of components applicable to a particular category or particular structure in the organization, particular structure employees in the organization, guys. And the further classification of the components in the compensation area. Clear? So save it. Go to compensation groups. Go to compensation groups. So define compensation groups. Define compensation groups. You can configure, let's say, compensation group P40s, permanent employees. Okay, and OTH, others. So two groups I created. So you should assign these groups to the organizational structure elements. Again, feature. Assign organizational assignment to the compensation group. Assign organizational assignment to the compensation group. Remove this. Go to new entries. We'll go to station operation. Your company code. Within the company code, employee category, Otherwise, it is a standard one. I keep that standard one as it is. And if it is IN46, I will call addition operation. For permanent employees, it is P000, and for others, it is OTHR. So I have taken only two groups, guys. So check and activate. Okay, so I'm going to config this. Okay, others you can maintain your own components to test it. So P000 is the one I'm going to configure now. Go to, for the time being, skip this, guys, skip eligibility rules. Okay, we can config without eligibility rules. Okay, only thing, if you want to control any component or a component range, if you want to permit any component or component range, maximum range, you need to use eligibility rules. Eligibility rule, guys. Otherwise, it is not necessary. Okay, I want to give DNS allowance only to one particular pay scale group, because pay scale group is not there here in the compensation groups, guys. Suppose if you look at this designation operation, this feature designation operation doesn't have controlling something at a pay scale structure level. It is only organizational structure. It is only organizational structure, not organizational structure, enterprise structure and personal structure components, guys. Yeah, org structure job is there. So org structure, enterprise structure, personal structure, but there is no pay scale structure here. If you want to control something based on the pay scale structure, then you should go for eligibility rules. Okay, so based on the salary ranges, years of experience. Okay, based on job category. If you want to control, you should go for eligibility rules. Otherwise, not mandatory. Okay, I'll show you. I'll test one eligibility rule later after configuring the compensation groups. So go to assign salary components and eligibility rules to the compensation groups. So we created a compensation groups P000 and OTHR, right? And to both compensation groups, what are the components applicable from the compensation area? Go to this. Go to this node. Assign salary components and eligibility rules to the compensation groups. First one is what? P000, guys. P000. As of now, no components there. Okay, so let's start maintaining the components. Go to new entries. So within this compensation area, in this compensation group, these are the components. Okay, so mandatory, even if you don't give a mandatory, it is appeared there. So it's a mandatory component. Now this is where we maintain the amount cannot be, for example, medical. Okay, employee cannot allocate more than 15,000. So maintain a maximum figure here. Or if you are allocating it based on percentage, select percentage. Percentage must not exceed 40 here. Like this, you can control the limits. Minimum allocation should be this. Maximum allocation should be this. Okay. Minimum allocation, maximum allocation. And is it a mandatory component? Yes. It should be there. This factor and eligibility rules, I'll come back to this for fields later. Next. This is the component I have configured. All the components you configured in 4P are appeared here, guys. Okay. are appeared here. Unity component. You don't need to tick this. These are information figures, but even if you tick this, no issues. Next, just maintain the component and leave it. Look at this, guys. The HRA is a mandatory component. Compulsory, let's say HRA is compulsory component. I can take this. That means employee must allocate this. Okay. Second thing, the default factor. Let's say if I maintain the factor value 0.25. Okay. That means 1/4 value of FBP is by default allocated to HRA. 1/4 value of FBP by default allocated to HRA. I'll show you practically this. Okay, and this will control, as I mentioned, eligibility rules control what this component is applicable to whom. Eligibility rules. Okay, I'll configure this later. First, once we see the standard FBP screen, we can test this field later. So for now, I maintain this as a mandatory component. Let's say I'm giving LTA must not be allocated more than 90,000. Some control. Medical must not be allocated more than 15,000. And what else? Let's see in me. Let's say conveyance must not be allocated more than 19,200. And then special allowance. Okay. Make it as a mandatory component. Now, observe this way, I'm hiring an employee. First, I will maintain a default. We can maintain a default, HRA default, conveyance default, medical default, LTA, default special allowance. So this salary packaging I have configured for this location Chennai, and then I maintain the pay scale group manager level 1. Manager level 1. When I click on enter, see these components are appeared. So these components, how these components are defaulted here, guys? What configuration do we need to do to default these components?
T539A table update.
Okay, so look at this. First wage type model we need to configure for the allowance grouping, and for the wage type model you can default it. So for this pay scale structure, I have configured one allowance grouping. Okay, ZALP or ZFBP I have configured as allowance grouping. And for that allowance grouping, I have configured one wage type model. In that wage type model, I defaulted these components. So I maintain monthly CTC 1 lakh, guys. Okay, I remove the special allowance. See, monthly CTC 1 lakh I configure. 50% of monthly CTC and 12% of basic pay. Okay, and the remaining amount goes to FBP package. Okay, so you can maintain special allowance, medical, LTA manually. I mean, user can maintain these components manually, HRA and everything. But let's update it through FBP screen, guys. Okay, let's update it through FBP screen. So I'm just saving this. So this is a package, monthly package. This is going to be converted to, all these components are going to be converted to annual in FBP screen. So I'm not maintaining anything else. I just maintain input type 8, save it with the monthly figures. Now, employee can go to FBP screen. Okay, P16B underscore admin. So effective date of record. The record should be created from this date. What is employee number? Go to P16B underscore admin. After this, guys, when I click on enter, compensation area. I didn't change this back. Ours is 4P, right? Maintain that. So the components are displayed like this, guys. So HRA, you see, HRA is displayed here because I selected this as a mandatory component. Okay, I selected this as a mandatory component. Suppose HRA, and these are not mandatory components. I have not selected them as a mandatory components. These are optional components which can be selected by the employee. Okay. So as of now, I've not allocated anything. The entire flexible package is become a reminder now because there is no allocation yet, right? So now, suppose if we go to components, HRA, factor 2.25. Go back to screen once again. No, it's not allocated. One minute, guys. Let me change the valuation to this. What of total package? Would I paid HRA, jet HRA, current version. Okay, leave this factor for I will explain. This factor is applied on the amount we are selecting. Okay, so when you go to FBP screen, first I'll show you how to update this. Select the effective date. So this is how the screen is displayed in the ESS, guys. So the components, if you want to allocate, select this and move this side, guys. Whatever the component you want to allocate, select this and move this side. And for the allocation, double click on it. When you double click on the amount field, okay, here you will see the amount field. I selected amount on and percentage on, right? Amount on and the percentage on. System taking the default percentage because I gave a factor 25% there, 0.25. Clear? So for the time being, I give a manual amount. Manual amount. How much? Let's say I allocate 2,40,000. Allocate 2,40,000. So give the amount here and click on accept. Click on accept. 1 minute, let me remove that factor. So this factor is applied on the amount that we are selecting. I thought it is applied on FBP. Once again. So 2,40,000, I want this amount to be updated as it is. Automatically the special allowance is reduced. Conveyance, double click on conveyance. I'm trying to update. It is only amount is on, not percentage on. So only amount field is paid here. So I'm trying to allocate 20,000 and accept it. You'll get a message. Because we maintain a maximum limit 19,200, right? Okay, you can allocate the amount between 0 to 19,200. So I give 19,200 as it is. Accept it. And LTA 72,000. Some random values I'm giving, guys. Medical, again medical, I gave a limit, right? Let's say I'm trying to allocate 16,000. Okay. See, the allocation should be within 0 to 15,000. So I'm giving 15,000 here. So we can give a maximum and minimum allocations, guys. And instead of giving these values manually, if you want to apply indirect valuation modules, for example, conveyance allowance I maintained 19,200, right? So if you if you config inval A or B or C for this allowance in the back end, when you click on inval, depending on inval, this amount is automatically derived, guys. Okay, depending on inval, this amount is automatically derived. Okay, I'll show you one. Look at this. For a medical, let's look at LTA. I have configured this based on inval A. Inval A means V underscore T pattern. Scale type 6B C1. Manager level 1, right? Monthly value 6,000. So this is invalidly already configured. Okay. Now again LT I'm allocating, select it, move this side. Instead of manually allocating a value, click on inval. Click on inval. Right. Function module I assigned is incorrect, it seems. Yeah. Should come automatically for inval. Let's try later. To like 40,000. Accept it. 19,200. Medical. It's not coming in data valuation. Okay, let's this. Okay, so we allocated it, guys. See, in info tabs, I don't have a HRA, conveyance, LTA, medical updated for the employee. In the info tab only, these 4 components are maintained. Right? Only these 4 components are maintained. So when you click on update, make sure employee is not logged on any other screen. When you click on update, automatically the respective info tabs are updated with the monthly figures. All these are what? Annual figures. Apart from 589, the rest all wage types are updated with the monthly figures. Okay, click on update. It says the following info tabs will be updated: 8, 14, 15, 589 updated. So do you really want to update this? Yes. The info tabs have been updated successfully. So employee can allocate these amounts manually. For now, I selected manually. You can use inval, you can use the factor options. I don't know why those are not working. Let's try this. So we updated this. Okay, let's verify it. Go back to 8 first. See, HRA updated. Okay, flexible package is updated, monthly value, and special events also monthly value updated. Okay, if you go to 589, effective from this date, the annual reimbursements are updated. Okay, these are the limits for the annual reimbursement. If you go to 14, conveyance is updated. So this access to this screen for the employee, okay, is given in ESS screen twice in a year or 3 times in a year. It all depends on the company policy. They'll send a note to every employee. Okay, so employee goes to ESS screen. This screen, as it is appeared in the ESS screen, employee can even run his payroll. Okay, and then test it, guys. After allocation, see there is a problem in this screen. After allocation, the allocated amounts only displayed here, guys. Even 589 and 589 reimbursements also will be displayed here. Okay, but I don't know why these are again displayed. We already allocated, right? Okay, let me show you once again. Okay, now another feature here, run a simulation. Run simulation, payroll simulation run. So when you run the simulation, in the background, the payroll run is executed. Background payroll run is executed, right? So if the payroll run is executed in the background, okay, which schema should the system use? So there should be a feature, right? So here, if you go to additional settings, maintain variant for the payroll simulation. Maintain variant for the payroll simulation, guys. So go to your payroll driver. You don't need to give an employee number. Let me try payslip first. Okay. So I create this variant, ZABB. Okay, this variant, I give it here. Maintain variant for the simulation. All FBP related features start with the 16, guys. All FBP features, okay, start with the 16. I'll show you some of the features, okay, related to FBP. This is the one feature. I'm maintaining variant here. So even in ESS screen, employee can run his payslip and then verify it, guys. Run his simulation run and verify the net salary. So go back to the screen, click on payroll simulation. Okay, so this is the payslip is appeared here. So in one more functionality in ESS screen is he can have two samples. I mean, two FBP packages allocated and then choose the between those two, the better one between those two. Okay, so first time he can allocate one FBP screen, he can allocate some amounts and run payroll and then test it. Another option, there will be another option, again allocate the amounts, different amounts, and run the payroll and then test it. So multiple FBP, what do you say, screens or tables can be appeared in ESS screen. Okay, but in P16 underscore admin, we see only one FBP screen, right? But in ESS, okay, this is one sample, right? there can be another sample, and employee can choose between these two, which one is better by running simulation runs. Okay, and when you apply, when you click on update, so the effective date of updation, effective date of salary package updation is controlled using this feature, guys. The first update, we will set this to 16 EFT. So here we maintain the date. Okay, year, month, and the date. So the first update, company code level or compensation area level, we can configure this. The first, when employee chooses, the effective date, first effective date is this. Okay, once the second cycle is started, let's assume October. Then we change the feature, guys, to 10. So when employee chooses and click on update, all the records, info type records are updated with this particular date, guys. Okay, default effective date. Okay, next.
Sir, sorry
Yep.
to interrupt. If employee updates in ESS portal, can we see the same thing in this P16B_admin?
Yes. Whatever he has allocated, right? If you go to P16B_admin, the same thing is appeared. But the problem in the current system, okay, input type 8, 14, 15 are shown here in my system. But 589 is not fetched. I don't know why. I will have to check this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So after allocation, allocated amounts are appeared here, guys. And the next feature here, whether employee can update this by himself in the ESS screen or not, is controlled by one feature. Go to determine whether salary package and direct update by employees. So 16 UPD. Look at the documentation. So this is the syntax of the screen. This is the syntax of the return value, guys. X-X. So what is the meaning of the first position? Okay. What is the meaning of first position? If you keep an X here, it indicates that info types are updated directly. Info types are directly updated from the ESS scenario, ESS screen. Okay. In the second position, yeah, if you give X, it indicates that employees do not have a permission to the update their package. In ESS screen, they will not have a permission. Only admin will update this. Okay, the package on behalf of an employee. So like this, few things are controlled using this. Yeah. The third position indicates whether employee can update once or multiple times. In the third position, if you keep a X, it indicates whether employee can update once or multiple times in the ESS screen. So this is one of the features: 16 UPD, 16 EFD, okay, and payslip variant. Okay, so these are the controls, guys. 16 CVA. Okay, and other features here. That's it. You just remember these three features: CVA, EFD, and UPD. Go to, yeah, let's try this last time. Why this invalid, the factors are not working. Why these are not working? Part of package, HRA, correct, amount and percentage, correct. Nothing wrong here. Yeah, see this, when I click on inval, okay, the amount is automatically derived. Medical, for medical also, yeah, for factorization, use this one, guys. Factorization one. You can take the screenshot. See, when I select medical, calculate based on indeed valuation. So this is incorrect. I maintained instead of monthly value in the T510 table, I maintained annual value 15,000. The 15,000 into 12 is taken. Suppose if I maintain a monthly value, how much? So 15,000 divided by 12, 1250. Then system annualizes it. Let me go to this screen and then show you. Managers, medical. I maintained annual value here, so it should be 1250. Okay, so check this. Go back. Remember this one issue currently we have in the system now is these are already allocated and should not be displayed in the left side. It should be displayed in the right side. I'll see what is that issue. I'll correct that later. But in real time, you will see them allocated values. You will see them in right side, guys. The allocated values you will see the right side. HR already allocated, conveyance already allocated, special allowance already allocated. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm going to medical. Double click on medical. Instead of manually maintaining a value, the admin wants to get this as per the allocation. Okay. Policy. Click on inval. He gets the value here. Coming to HRA factor. So let's see why this factor is not working. Suppose if I maintain a 50%. This should not be calculated on this. Give a factor 0.25. What is this field? It says it is only valid 70% of the employee total package or his personal income. Therefore, 0.7 was entered. Okay. So I maintained 0.25. Save it. What did we get this? This is shown from already allocated figure. 1 minute. Okay, leave this factor thing. It says it is only for South Africa and don't know how it is working in the backend. Next thing is eligibility rules, guys. So here, for example, this conveyance allowance should be applicable to only the manager and executives. Should be applicable to manager and executives, or should be applicable to other than managers and executives. How do we control it? Should we create another compensation group? We cannot create another compensation group because in the future the pay scale groups and levels are not there. In the future, the pay scale groups and levels are not there, so we cannot control by creating another compensation group, guys. Okay, so what should we do? So we need to define eligibility rules and assign eligibility rules here. So look at this. First step, go to eligibility group. First step, go to eligibility groups. Create a group at a company code level. The eligibility conditions, the set of eligibility conditions at a company code level you can define, guys. Okay, create an eligibility group. Let's say this is IN46 group. The conditions, all the conditions in IN46 can be grouped. Company code IN46, Default this for your company code. So this one also, eligibility condition also I have taken IN46. Otherwise IN00 standard. Come back. Go to additional criteria. Go to additional criteria. Define pay scale criteria. Define pay scale criteria. Go to new entries. Go to new entries. Let's say this is engineers and workers. Engineers and workers. Conveyance is given to only engineers and workers, must not be applicable to managers and executives. Okay, so create one pay scale group rule. In this, assign engineers and workers. Go to pay scale groups. Go to new entries. One country group in 40, pay scale type 6P, pay scale area C1, and CAP grouping. Engineers from level 1 to level 2. Sorry, engineers level 1 to engineers level 2. Okay, next. Second, 40, this pay scale structure C1, workers. We don't have levels in the workers. We don't have levels in the workers. I just select workers. Save it. So this is a pay scale groups, a set of pay scale groups to which that conveyance is applicable. I'm configuring this in pay scale group rule, guys. Okay. Now put it in eligibility rule. Go back here. Define eligibility rules. Define eligibility rules. Go to new entries. Eligibility rule, engineers and then workers only. In these eligibility rules, what criteria are you using? What criteria are you using? Maintain eligibility criteria. Maintain eligibility criteria. Observe this, guys. Which one did you create? Pay scale groups, right? You select this. Select ENW. It has what? Engineers and workers. Engineers and workers. So using this table, you can control any elements based on seniority, based on the work schedule, based on the pay scale groups, jobs, salary levels, appraisal, many other criteria you can use, guys. The other fields you see here, salary group, job, these are something from compensation management module. These are updated in the compensation module, not here. So for now, we are only working on a pay scale types and levels. So we can configure this here. I'll show you where these tables are there. Okay. So you can control any eligibility based on pay scale groups and levels, their job, their salary level, salary group. Okay. And based on the work schedule, etc. So this eligibility rule is applicable to which company code? IN46. Eligibility group IN46. That's it, guys. I repeat this. How did I configure eligibility rules? First one, like a compensation group, you can configure eligibility rule groups. So these conditions at a one company code level, I'm grouping the conditions, different conditions at a one company code level, I'm grouping. So I have taken same company code name as a eligibility group. So anything you define with IN46 is applicable to IN46 employees. All the conditions, be it a pay scale level, be it a job level, salary ranges level, okay, you can group them with this eligibility group guys. So I configured this at a company code level here. First step. Second step, I group my pay scale structure to which that conveyance is applicable here. Okay, so I created one pay scale group rule. In this, I assigned the pay scale structures. Eligibility rule. Okay, not eligibility rule, pay scale group rule. In this, I assign pay scale group and levels applicable. Next step, go to define eligibility rules, create an eligibility rule, assign all the criteria in it. Okay, I created, which one I created? Yeah, the DLR. I created eligibility rule, the DLR. In this, I defined a criteria, use pay scale groups. Okay, and I assigned eligibility rule group IN46. Now this one, ZELR, assign this to the component guys. Which component? Go back to the components. Within this components, go to conveyance, maintain, ZELR. Okay, so test it if it is working or not. Let me delete the conveyance to the employee. I have already given, right? Okay, now I'm going to system underscore admin. Now you see what is missing here. Which component is missing here?
Conveyance.
Conveyance alone.
Because this is not applicable to whom? Same compensation group. Both my engineers and workers and the permanent the other managers and the executives all are in the same compensation group. But within a compensation group, I'm able to restrict the allowance to the pay scale group level. Clear? Okay, understood this eligibility rule groups. Suppose if you go to one employee is let me hire an employee, or else same employee. Select 8. Select engineer level 1. Save it. Go to P16 underscore admin. No conveyance also displayed. Okay. So this is one requirement. In one company, See the managers and executives. Conveyance is there. I'm taking this allowance as an example, guys. Okay. Now workers and engineers. For them also that conveyance is there. But the limit is different. But this limit is different. For him, the limit is, let's say, 20,000. And for this guy, the limit is, let's say, 10,000. How do you control it? Two limits. This is the maximum limit for the managers and executives. Okay. This is the maximum limit for the workers. How do we control it here, guys? What is the configuration? I cannot maintain two conveyances. Try maintaining this. Can I maintain this? An entry already existed. And with one, I cannot maintain two limits. Only one limit I can maintain. So how do I control it? Anyone? What is the solution, guys? So observe this. What you can do is go back to compensation group, assign compensation to the compensation groups. Sorry, here. Components to the compensation group. Where did we do this? Yes. Define salary components. Copy CNV. Maintain CN2. Maintain CN2, guys. Okay. Same. CN conveyance allowance 1 and conveyance allowance 2. There is no change. And come back here. Okay. Go to P000 and config CN2. Config CN2, yes. Next step is what? This component is applicable to whom? Only managers, right? Yes or no? This component CNV is applicable to whom? This is shown only for the engineers. Okay. Similarly, you create one more eligibility rule condition. First, go to define pay scale criteria. Okay. Now this time I will give one managers and executives. Okay. In this, select this, go to pay scale groups. So these are very, very important controls, guys. In this, whoever is configuring in this, okay. 6P. It is common that components are controlled based on the pay scale groups in India. Managers. Level 1 to manager level 2. Similarly, executives. Level 1 to executives, level 2. So I have configured one pay scale group. So I created different eligibility criteria for this, eligibility rule for this. Go back, go to eligibility rules, Z, M and E or ME, managers and executives. Save it. Under this, assign the pay scale group. Go to new entries. First, this belongs to eligibility group IN00 and define pay scale groups. Which one? Which one did we create, guys? M and E. It has managers and executives. So this one you should assign here. See, convenience servants 2. This is applicable to whom? Now I can maintain one limit here. This is 20,000. Okay, for engineers. This is applicable to engineers. I can maintain 15,000 here. So you can create multiple components with the same wage type and info types. Okay, if you want to restrict the ranges. Understood this, guys? Test it. So conveyance, these are managers. This guy is a manager. I'm trying to allocate 20,000 here. Why is it taking 15,000? This is a manager.
No, sir, it's engineers. We have changed it in PA30.
So engineers. So engineers, yes, I changed it, right? So it is taking 15,000 to limit 0 to 15,000. Suppose if you change this to my component is not displayed. Means ORS is not IN00, right? ORS is IN46 exams. This is the one I maintained in the company code level. Okay, all the conditions, service year based, okay, working hours based, eligibility based on pay scale groups and levels can be grouped at a this group, eligibility group, guys. So components are grouped at what? Compensation group level. Conditions are grouped at what? Eligibility group level. Clear? Okay, components separate, compensation group and feature is given. Similarly, all the eligibility conditions are grouped at a company code level. So that is what is this feature, guys? We created IN46. All the conditions within IN46, I'm grouping with the IN46, guys. I created IN46 here and I maintained IN46 to my company. So that was the issue. We'll try to configure this one more time. Conveyance. We'll try to allocate 21,000. It says 0 to 20,000. Okay. So that's all, guys. Okay. So what is not working is in my screen currently. Okay. First thing, these are already allocated. They should be displayed like this. The moment you come to this screen, you should see the allocated values. Okay, these two already updated in 589, but system is not picking them somehow. We need to verify why. What is the reason? I'll check that. But otherwise, allocated figures all from info tab, from all info tabs are red and appeared here. So this is one issue. Currently, it is not working. Second thing, inval is working, right? Inval is working. And here, factor, it says it is only applicable to South Africa. I don't know whether Indian clients uses it or not. But anyway, we can manually update this figure HRA, okay, just like any other component. So this factor is not working. Okay, leave it. So yeah, 40,000, update this. First accept it and update it. So this amount is being multiplied. The allocated amount is multiplied with the factor. Okay, remove that factor. So 2,40,000 is as it is updated here. And then click on update. Before update, employee can run a simulation and verify it. Employee can run a simulation and verify. So once he run a simulation and verify, and he need to click on update. So once it is clicked on, once he click on update, automatically all input tabs get updated. So only these two are not working. So while you're practicing, okay, take this configuration for your practice. Copy these waste steps from /TPA, these two waste steps. And all other waste steps directly copy from standard model waste steps. For example, 3B01, MB01 is there, copy from that. And this one special elements we can copy from M2SF. So this is a sheet I have configured now. So you can take the screenshot of the sheet and practice it. Any question on the screen, guys? FBP. Any question you have, guys? Compensation area, compensation group. These two are main. Compensation area, compensation group. Compensation area at a company code level or a currency level we create, which will have all the components in it. So definition of the components are configured. The definition of components are configured, which is the part of package, which is a total package, which is a reminder, which is the information figure. Okay, are configured in compensation group, guys. And one important point is here, while taking the components, every dependency components must be appeared on the screen. For example, dependent components, why I'm displaying basic pay, why I'm displaying EPF. Okay, these two are not related to FBP, but why we are displaying them? These three are not related to FBP now. So why are we displaying? Because this flexible benefit package is depending on the above three components. Is depending on above three components. So otherwise, inval will not work on the FBP screen. So that's why all dependent components should be displayed on the screen. This is the first rule, guys. Okay, if there is a component which is not dependent on any of the FBP component, you don't need to display that. Clear? So these three, so this flexible FBP package is depending on the above three. So I'm displaying them as information figures. Nothing related to FBP, but just information figures. Second point, for anything, if you maintain inval, the factor, this module is compulsory. Indirect valuation modules are compulsory. If it is a factor, part of package, this is the indirect valuation module you should use. Otherwise, these three indirect valuation modules should be used. Okay. Next, component controls. Components applicability controlled by eligibility groups, guys. Okay, eligibility rule. Okay, so all the conditions, for example, in my company code, there are in 46. In my company code, there is control based on pay scale structure. There is control based on years of service. There is a components control based on jobs, based on salary ranges. So this you group them in IN 46. So this is called eligibility group. Okay, maintain this in the feature IN 46. Now, so now you configure this, create eligibility rule. So in eligibility rule, what do you take? Any one of these criteria, maybe years of service, maybe pay scale, maybe job, etc. I have taken the pay scale. Okay, and I related this. So this rule would you assign? Where do you assign? In compensation components. Okay, guys, is this clear? If you configure as it is, it will work. So first complete the input app 8 with this calculations. First complete the input app 8 with this calculation. Yes.
If we are not using inval A or B, instead we are hardcoding values, then what function module should we use?
You don't need to use any function module if it is not a part of package. If it is not a part of package, you don't need to use any function module. Yes.
Okay, sir.
See these function modules sometimes. Okay. See for now I maintain monthly figures in input app 8. Some clients maintaining annual figures as well as monthly figures. Monthly figures projected, but annual figures must not be projected. Right? Suppose if I maintain annual CTC in input app 8, when I come to FBP screen, the annual figure also will be projected. It's already annual value, and again it is multiplied with 12. So such a cases, customizations are required. So you create a function module, separate function module for this, and make sure this is not projected and displayed as it is. So then development is required, guys. If you don't want any projection, then development is required. Otherwise, by default, every figure is projected. Okay, is it clear? Mostly FBP will be there. whenever there is a ESS portal, screens are there, and particularly in telecom industry and software industry, this packaging, salary packaging is a common scenario. Any question, guys? Is it clear? All of you take the screenshot and practice this. So who are following up with this? Suresh, you understood? Anjali,
sir.
are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understood.
Okay, guys, practice this. Okay, you can show me if you're getting any error in a text message. Whenever I'm free, I'll reply it. Hope you have taken a screenshot. I'm closing the session, guys.
Sir, can you lift it up, sir, with the example? The
Which
previous
one?
this Excel sheet. Can you scroll up? This one.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. See you guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.